Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Becky D, live in the morning, 7 days a week, 7 a.m. Y'all, it is Wednesday. And today we really want to focus on wisdom. Okay. We have knowledge that we may not realize that we have. It's just sitting there, untapped, unused, and waiting for us. And it's about time that we start using it. So I did get asked this question, and I figured it would be the topic of today. Someone asked me what to do about temptation. And I like it when I get questions like that. And they was like, we want the Becky D answer. And I'm like, hey, I'll give it to you. Okay. So temptation. Let's fully dive into what that is. Temptation is obviously something that you want but can't have, or something that you want to do and shouldn't do. It's an effect of, let's get the full definition. So that way, you're not looking at your phone like, Webster said something else. Okay, same thing I said, the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. A thing or course of action that attracts or tempts someone. Okay. Might as well read this last one that Webster has. It says, or is that Oxford? My bad, that's Oxford. The tempting of Jesus by the devil. Okay. So, if it's a thing or course of action that attracts or tempts someone, lure, enticement, okay? You also have desire, urge, itch, impulse. Usually when you hear words like that, it's dealing with drugs or some type of substance, illegal or legal. It's dealing with relationships. But no one ever talks about it in other senses, okay? We all are tempted by different things. And temptation, if you want to be honest, often leads to lust. Lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, and the lust of money. A love for money. This is way it quotes in the Bible. 3 things. Okay? So if we talk about the lust of the eye, okay, that's usually dealing towards people. Look good. Smell good. Something you like. Something you think you need. Something you really want. But you already have to use your prior knowledge, your prior wisdom to say, wait a minute, hold up. I'm trying to get someplace, and dealing with that person right now isn't worth it. Okay, if you're in a relationship or you're married or something like that, don't do it. Please don't do it. Now, segue really fast. There are couples, people out there, families, whatever you want to call yourselves, that swing or believe in poly. I'm not here to steer you different. Okay? Again, this is a podcast for all. I'm not going to say, hey, you can't do that. No. Okay? That's what you, then by all means, make sure you communicate. But by all means, please continue to be you. But another lust of the eye Another temptation is food. Okay? Which the food those really tie in with the flesh as well. Because once you see it, then you think you're hungry, then you start to overeat and all that other stuff, and it's a chain effect. So I know you're probably thinking, well, what do I do? You know all these things. You know how it happens, okay? Sometimes with your business, you see other people, they're like, man, doing the same thing I do, and they just made one meal in a day. And I'm sitting there like, don't do it. Don't let that tempt you. Don't try to do what they do. Because sometimes what everybody do is not legal. It's not right. Okay? It's not fair and just. They take a lot of shortcuts and come up short in the end. Let your money flow be natural. Not anything forced. And not anything that's going to get you in some trouble with the law later down the road. It is better to do things by the letter of the law or whatever case you want to have in your head than to do things illegally, quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay? I like to tell people, take the slow cooker route. If you ever had, this right here is a kitchen tip from Auntie Becky, okay? If you ever get the urge to make a beef stew or any type of meal, some chicken, whatever the case may be, okay? You can look up the crock pot slow cooker, whichever one you have. I really don't know the difference, y'all. I'm not that deep in cookware. But recipe for whatever you try to cook, because there's one out there, even for pancakes, if I'm not mistaken. Even cake. I've seen it done. Tastes great. Moisture stays in. It's something about putting it on low and letting it cook. Okay. While the smells will entice you, the temptation grows more and more to go and pick out the pot. But if you know what I know, it's going to smell really good. And if it's like protein in there, like a meat, 9 times out of 10, it's not done yet, okay? Let that baby finish cooking. Don't go picking in that pot, getting salmonella poison. But the smell hits you first. And then, of course, your stomach going to start growling and all that stuff. But wait, okay? But wait. A lot of people not understand that's the way we operate in the world, okay? Some type of temptation that's pulling us in, right? If you ever drive down the road, I noticed this when I went to visit my mother. There was a ABC store, red dot for those that know it that way, right here. You drove less than a mile, it's another red dot right there. They are trying to attract those who are tempted by the simple sign to say, hey, you might have passed that one, but this one right here, baby. Okay? And they will drain your pockets because it's but one excuse me, a want became a need all of a sudden, and something that you can't shake, and it gets pretty bad. So you have to have that discipline to say, you know what? I really don't need you. I really just want you. And I need to walk away from you. But it's easier said than done. Yes, it is. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's easy to say, I'm not going to do that no more. I'm not going to do whatever type of drugs you're doing. And I'm not, no. Easier said than done. But that's where I come in. I have faith in you. We can have conversations. We can talk. Okay? So use your wisdom to know what is wrong, what is right. Okay? If you're in a relationship or whatever the case may be, marriage is still a relationship. And y'all, there's a lot of eye candy out there. Okay? I'm going to say it just like that. A lot of eye candy out there. Put your blinders on. Okay? Now, if there's some reason you're working towards marriage, whatever the case may be, y'all probably not married yet, thinking about holding out till marriage, great. I love it. Best thing ever. But make sure that you understand temptation will be there. You'll be thinking like, man, you got one more month, let's go. I really don't know how that conversation goes. Let's just be real. But nevertheless, you have to understand that temptation is at every corner, every door. You know? This is a really quick story time. And it's going to be a weird story from Auntie Becky today. So, where I stay at is around a bunch of smokers. Every place I go, somebody is smoking. On the interstate, they're smoking. Smoke. These are walking chimneys, okay? I've never met so many smoking people in my life. Growing up, I had a lot of family members that smoke. But it seems like as I got older, they all stopped, which I thank them. But I start to be irritated by the smell of cigarette smoke now. And for some reason, you know how you always see in the movies and stuff, people have a stressful day, they pull out a cigarette. And so, things got pretty stressful. And I had the audacity to think, I should go get me a cigarette. That quickly passed because I was like, girl, you stupid. Nope. The nicotine in your lungs and all that, and then the tar build up. And then, see, that's right here why educated people can't do certain things, because they go all the way deep, which is good and bad at the same time. But the thing is, you can resist temptation. All right? Now, if somebody would set a piece of chocolate cake in front of me, filled with gluten and dairy, temptation might go out the window. I ain't about to lie. I ain't gonna lie. Even if it's a 7-layer chocolate cake, that's definitely going out the window. If it's something that has some ganache on it, oh, bye-bye. I no longer care, because I'm going to eat that and pay for it later. But sometimes paying for things later isn't always good, because what you're paying for wasn't really worth it, okay? But just know that, I love you all, no matter what. Oh, and before I forget, I definitely wanted to shout out. Got a message from someone that says, hey, I just want you to shout me out on your podcast. So I said I was going to do it this morning while it's fresh in my mind. Let me get to it. Shout out to Kennedy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I know everybody else is tuning in and listening. So if you want your shout out, just, text, email, message, whatever the case may be, and you can definitely get your shout out. I'm not one of those rude people that gonna charge you and stuff like that. No. I'm not gonna do that. This content is free to you and good to me. All right. I'm all love, no hate. That's the only way I operate. You guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you this morning, letting my words meditate through your head and out your body, and being active members of society today. As always, my name is Becky D with Becky D in the Morning. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow morning.